Shout out to this fan for coming up with the idea to this video. If you have any cool ideas for a future video, let me know in the comments below. I may just give you a shout out. Darth Revan and Darth Nihilus come face to face on a deserted battlefield. Each are armed with their own designated lightsabers. This is a battle to the death. Who wins the battle of the KOTOR villains? What's up, Net Soldiers? I'm Net Alliance, and today I have a very special Star Wars versus for you. In this versus, two of the most well-known Sith in KOTOR are going at it. But before we begin, for more of my Star Wars versus, make sure to click the link in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more Star Wars content. But with that said and out of the way, let's begin. First, let's take a look at Darth Revan. For pros, Revan was extremely skilled in lightsaber combat, being able to defeat Darth Malik, who, at the time, was a renowned duelist. Revan's strength in the Force was also immaculate. He was very proficient with being able to tie his Force abilities into his combat skills. And because of this, he was able to take on the likes of Darth Vitiate by himself for at least a while. However, the Emperor did defeat him. For cons, like I mentioned, Revan is extremely powerful, but when it comes down to it, his strongest powers require a lot of Force energy, meaning he's able to combine all of his Force energy into one powerful hit. And if this super attack managed to hit his enemy, it would completely obliterate them. However, if this attack missed, he would become very fatigued and thus could lead to his death. Now let's take a look at Darth Nihilus. For pros, Nihilus was incredibly powerful with the Force, especially with the ability called Force Drain. Now Force Drain was essentially his trump card. This power allows him to suck the living Force from any person, place, or thing. He was also known to be a proficient lightsaber duelist, although he preferred to use his Force abilities over lightsaber combat. Now like I previously mentioned, Nihilus's trump card is his Force Drain. He was so powerful with this ability, he was able to drain entire worlds of their Force energy, which, as you may have guessed, is incredibly powerful. Now for cons, while Nihilus is extremely powerful in his Force Drain ability, he tends to rely on that the majority of the time. So if he is to come up against a foe who can resist his Force Drain or even just withstand it for a long duration, he could have some problems. And as I mentioned, although he is rather skilled with a lightsaber, his reliance on his Force powers makes his saber ability a bit lacking. Now for the verdict. So this was honestly a really tough fight, because I love both characters and they are both very, very powerful, and they do different things. For example, although Revan is still incredibly strong in the Force, Nihilus's Force Drain ability is a complete bulldozer. And on the other hand, Revan's lightsaber skill wrecks Nihilus any day. So after weeks of debating with other fans and weeks of research, I declare, by a slight edge, the victor is Darth Revan. Now before I explain my reasoning, let me just say, if you chose Nihilus, I 100% understand, for he is incredibly powerful and would definitely give Revan one hell of a fight. But for me, this versus comes down to one major factor, and the factor is, how long could Revan resist Nihilus's Force Drain? Now there have been a few characters who are actually able to resist or even withstand Nihilus's power for a while. And usually those characters have something special about them, or they're just extremely powerful in the Force, and know how to defend against the Force Drain. So Revan, as we know, once took on Emperor Vitiate and came within striking distance of him. He was also able to deflect the Sith Emperor's Force lightning back at him as well. And although he didn't win that fight, it's stated that Revan wasn't even at his full power while he was fighting Vitiate. Another point I'd like to make, Revan was also able to resist the drain of the ancient weapon of the Starforge, which theoretically means he may have increased resistance or even immunity to Nihilus's Force Drain. And so, I believe, if Revan is actually able to withstand the Force Drain for a long enough duration, and in which case I think he could, using his superior lightsaber skills, Revan would cut Nihilus down, and thus, I declare the victor of this versus, Darth Revan. But of course, that's just my opinion. What's your opinion on this? Let me know in the comments below. Please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more Star Wars videos, and until next time guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.